Hello everyone, this is Ross from retrodreambeam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Ned for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Tuesday. It was like a lower sale amount, but the quantity was still good. So as long as things are moving, I'm generally happy. Obviously, it sucks when there's low quantity and low sales, but yeah, this is definitely a quiet period of November. We started off pretty strong, but let's just jump right into it. So the first thing is going to be this right here, Curse of Strahd. This is the Taroka deck, so Curse of Strahd is going to be like the D&D 5th edition, or I guess there's other editions of it, but yeah, there's going to be like some kind of tarot deck that you use. I've never played the particular campaign, so I'm not too sure about it, but this is just like the full deck of cards for the Dungeon Master and players to use. This ended up going for $10.23. It has like the vampire theme, if you want to know like vampires, werewolves, and stuff like that. So, all right. Next up is going to be this. This is going to be incomplete expansion, pretty incomplete Star Wars Imperial Assault Captain Tarot. This is just going to be the instruction sheet that would come in one of those clamshells. They have like ally packs and villain packs. They're just these small expansions to Star Wars Imperial Assault game. And these are the 2 deployment cards. So we have the Captain Tarot and Dewback Rider. I got a bunch of these like incomplete stuff. They're missing all of the cards, all of the miniatures, since not all the cards, but most of the cards and the miniatures. But these expansion packs don't come with too many pieces. I think there's like 6 other cards missing. But yeah, people are still picking them up. You can still, some of these characters and stuff you can still use. Like you can get a replacement miniature. Maybe you have the Star Wars miniature game, or you sub in anything, honestly, at that point. So $7.99 for that one. All right, next up. This has been a while. I completely forgot we got these. This is Plasticville. This is like a fire department little kit that you make, probably either for a train station setup, or you can also use this for wargaming and RPG. So I have no idea, or the person just like wants to display it on their shelf. And then I got a bunch of these like little train station Plasticville stuff a long time ago during an auction. So yeah, I forgot we had these. $12.79 for that one. It looks like pretty cool. You just like snap it together, and they could probably also glue it if they want. All right, next up, I listed this kind of recently. This is going to be just bits and pieces. This is going to be Black Seas, which is going to be this like naval miniature game. I don't think I've ever gotten anything from this particular game. I've seen it like advertised in magazines before. They used to put them in GTM magazine. But yeah, it's just going to be like, here's a little instruction sheet for whatever the third rate ship was supposed to be. But then there's also some cards and a bunch of different like sales. Some of them are pop out. Some of them are going to be decals right here. So someone picked up these pieces for $10. I don't think I've ever gotten any like the kits or the ships or bits and pieces other than that one. So first time I got that, I briefly knew what it was. And when I looked it up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember what this is. All right, moving along, we have this. This is empty. So if it was full, it'd be worth way more. This is going to be Pokemon TCG, Sword and Shield, Lost Origin. This is just Elite Trainer box. People use this to store cards. It's also a good shelf piece. People like to collect all of them. Also, they have like Pokemon on the front in different designs. So if people do actually use these, you can hold decks, tokens, sleeves. $6 just for this one. That stuff usually, like, I'll get a collection. Then I'll have boxes or sleeves or binder pages. I like to list those as well, as long as they're like clean and still usable. Next up is going to be this. This is going to be Command and Conquer Renegade. This is going to be a strategy guide book right here. I get a bunch of strategy guide books, like middle tier ones, so they usually sell for like, I don't know, like $8, and then if I'm lucky, up to like 20, and a couple of them sold for more. But yeah, this is just for the Command and Conquer PC game. I remember playing like Red Alert. That's the one that sticks out to me. I don't remember playing Renegade, but yeah, this just has all like the, strategy, all the vehicles, all the infantry, all the campaign, and you can read up about it. $12 for that one. Someone sent me a message. They said that they destroyed their kids' strategy guide book, and they were tight on money, but they felt bad for destroying their kids' book, so they ended up picking up that one. So I thought that was nice of them. All right, moving along, we have this. I had a bunch of these, and I only have one left after this. When I originally got this, I wasn't sure what it was, but this is going to be PlayStation 2 God of War Part 2. This is going to be like one of those skins that you put on your PlayStation 2. I forgot that was a thing. I don't think we ever did that to our PlayStation 2s. I don't think any of my brothers ever did that when we were growing up. And maybe someone just likes God of War, never played the game. I heard a lot of people like it, so I'm aware that it exists. But yeah, $11.51. I had one more of these skins, so I relisted it when I was at the storage unit. All right, moving along, we have Cool Miniatures or Not, Song of Ice and Fire, the Game of Thrones miniature game. Super long title. This is going to be an Umber champion figure right here. Someone already put a magnetized bit right here. These normally come with like cards, and then you build up your faction, and you're going to be playing with like trays of infantry, and then you're going against someone else playing like the other factions in the game. So I got a collection. I think it was like 50 or $55. So I got a bunch of stuff, and I parted it out. Everything's been listed, and I think I already made the money from it. But yeah, this guy was just $9.59 for the individual figure. So nothing was like super crazy from that collection. And when I got it, I knew it was going to be like, all of the the sum of all the sales was going to be a good number. It wasn't going to be like, oh, I'm going to get one item that blows my profits out of the water. All right, and then people do play it, appreciate it, and also Game of Thrones, people like that, so they can just paint it as a miniature. Next up is going to be something, we got a bunch of these ads in estate sale. Sorry, I'm like a little bit all over the place, even though I don't have too many items. I guess it was a good quantity. I think it was like 12 or 13. Normally we get like 10, or I guess this year it's been like 7 or 8, but normally our overall average over the years is about 10. Margarita, these are going to be coasters. There's 4 of them. These are pretty good looking, like art ones. These are super clean. Like I said, we got them. I'll probably grab these from a estate sale, but yeah, it has a little margarita right there. So this is probably what someone was looking for. They probably wanted a margarita coaster. And then there's 14. It talks about like a list of different types of margaritas. You can have $7.67. Someone's probably using that for some kind of party coming up, I guess. All right, next up is going to be an empty box Europa. Marisha Merker. I don't know if that's how you say that, but yeah, if I had this complete board game, this would be a different story. This is just a replacement box. It's still in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of like scratching on the bottom here. It visually looks worse than it is, because like when you open up the box on the bottom, you actually see that there's no like abrasions that go all the way through. So yeah, the important part for these boxes, they do get mushed and damaged, so someone just wants a replacement one. There's over like, I want to say there's like 21 games in the Europa series. They're usually pretty expensive, almost impossible to count just because they come with thousands and thousands of pieces, a lot of those little chit tokens. We got $10 for this one. All right, moving along, we have this. Listed these kind of recently. These are really cool. These are, I think they're 3D printed based on the field. These are going to be some sci-fi like little doors right here, so someone can use these for a role-playing game. They can use them probably maybe for 40K wargaming. So I just had to let people know like the dimensions, because they want to have everything matching. They don't want to have big doors in a small house, or you know, vice versa. So $19 for these two. This was also a weird one, because this was, the person took an offer from us, and I think it took them like 10 days to pay. It doesn't bother me when stuff's waiting for payment, if people have to wait for getting paid, or if they just, a lot of people deal with finances and their hobbies differently. Some people just like to like pick a day, and that's when they, you know, buy everything. That's how they budget, you know, so everyone has different rules for themselves. So it doesn't stress me that stuff sits in unpaid. Eventually I'll reach out to someone and let them know like, hey, do you still want this item? If not, no big deal. Don't kind of be embarrassed. I'll just relist it. But yeah, most of the time people do eventually come and pay. Obviously I'll have some that are unpaid. But yeah, $19 for that one. That one I thought was not getting paid. So right, like I was like, I'll give it another 2 days. And today was the day where it was going to be up, or yesterday. And then they paid. So they must have read my brain waves there. All right. Next up is going to be, this is going to be, I almost called it Command and Conquer. Heroes in Normandy. This is going to be one of the maps. This was also a weird one, because I sold a couple of Heroes in Normandy maps to someone a few months ago, and then I realized I had, one of them was listed incorrectly, because I noticed one of the buildings, like these maps, some of them looked pretty similar. At least I wasn't focused or paying attention. So one of them had been like in a different spot, and I realized that was a different map. So I canceled that one for the person and just sent them the one that matched, that actually was what they purchased. But yeah, so then I ended up relisting this one. This was the one that the person did not want, relisted it, and someone else picked it up. So $14.07. Sorry, I probably butchered that story, but it was basically an item I had made a mistake on, and I relisted it, and someone picked up the correct one because I did the correct listing. Last up for the day, it's been a while since we got these. These are the master reels, those things that you like click and you get to look through like a viewfinder. There's a bunch of those that you can get, and there's a lot of different ones based off of movies. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2 movie. It's just 2 of them. I think Annetta got a bunch of these a long time ago. We haven't found these in a long time. They do, some of them sell pretty decently well and fast, and other ones take a while. $8 for these 2, so just 2 of them. It's not like the full movie or anything, but people do collect them and use them. And just when I pulled that one, I was like, oh, there's only a couple listings left. I remember when we got that like big pile of them, I did like 60 listings, and now going back to it, seeing we only have a couple left was cool to see. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our links down below.